we get one piece and we instantly, in this area, start thinking about major things. It's nobody's fault but ourselves if we're going to start thinking about playoffs and being double-digit wins and all that type of stuff. But I truly feel like there were some things good in the game, some. There was a lot of things bad, but the things that were bad have been bad. And I believe, just like you stated about the pass play with Quan and Mikey, you can see them talking, but if they were a little bit more matured in this game, they don't try to have Quan drop all the way down and Mikey run all the way back when you could just pass off the assignment. So
some of the stuff you can easily explain where it went sideways.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff you can't, and it's just
like, but
you got beat because the other guys are better.
We go into this thing with the secondary forever, and I keep going back to the same thing. Get more pass rush up the middle, and you can affect that team, any team you're playing against.
I think you'd like to
get
more
that
from
for 4
Allen
or 5
Payne
years. I've said that
night.
for 4 or 5 years.
I mean,
and I think the ultimate thing is you can have the exact same people on the field with a different pass rush, and I promise you they'll play better.
But my point is, the pass rush ain't coming this year. Like, you're not going to.
It could.
You're not going to remedy that this season.
It could. But then again, you got 3 guys on the team that did not play 1 second of preseason. So that's some like people like to just look at position and where someone was drafted and instantly look at that's the way that they're going to play. You have to play football to get ready for football. And you also have to get out there and you got to come together and have a chemistry. The chemistry is not there. Look, practice is practice. You don't really build a great chemistry till you get in the game going completely full speed against somebody that's trying to knock your ass off.
Sure.
So that stuff can grow in a matter of 2 to 3 weeks. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't expect them to play as bad as they did last night again.
You better hope not.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I disagree on that one, right? Like, I think there could be other blowouts. I think this secondary is a problem.
The blowouts could come in different phases. It may not just be on the secondary, man. It may be something else. But what I'm saying is,
like, when they go to Monday night against Cincy in a couple weeks, and Chase is back playing, and Higgins is back playing, like that gives me some pause.
It just seemed like things were not in tune.
Who's that on then? Because I understand.
I think it's on everybody. It goes from the rules now where everybody doesn't play their stars in preseason for the most part. And then what you're looking at now is, we got a 3-game preseason, but you know what preseason is really? The first 3 weeks of the season where a lot of people come in. And yes, some teams play better like Tampa did. Why? Tampa has a veteran team led by guys that have already been there.
Yeah.
They returned.
They all came back to try to make a playoff.
How many people did we? What's the percentage of differences on this team right here? A whole new staff,
half.
Whole new front office,
right,
and damn near 57% of new players.
I don't think, frankly, we should be surprised by the defensive performance. I think they were bad last year. I'm not sure they've done a lot to address it. Maybe over time that changes.
Mm-hmm.
I think where I was surprised is offensively. I think they're better than what they showed yesterday offensively. I think to make this thing function, the pass game has to be far more functional. But before people start flipping out about this, if you looked at yesterday across the whole NFL,
mm-hmm,
Jaden's passing numbers would probably be top 12. Like there weren't a lot of really strong passing performances yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think I asked Jaden in postgame, hey, man, most things were at the line of scrimmage. Was that by design or was that what Tampa gave you? And he said, we just tried to stay patient. Tampa was cutting off everything deep. I do think eventually you need to stretch the field a bit. But I think if Jaden doesn't just miss Terry McLaurin on the first play of the third quarter,
yep,
it was a lot of almost.
Terry is well over 237, 40 yards passing.
Not even the yardage, just what it would do defensively. Yeah. They're like, all right, they can't get over the top.
But I also think it changes the whole mindset. And that's the thing about it, where one pass hit here or there would change the whole mindset of what happened yesterday offensively. I think we have to look at it in a sense where it was still his first time going full go with everybody. And everybody out there basically, first time they all went full go with everybody else together too. I didn't expect him or Caleb to step out there and just tear the league up. He looked better than Caleb.
Of the rookie quarterbacks that started yesterday, Jaden had the best performance.
Yes.
Bo Nix was terrible. Bo Nix threw. I also think, and Tischler and I had a disagreement on the podcast last night on this. I think it is underrated for a rookie quarterback to come out and not turn the ball over. Especially,
Totally.
I mean, he was under pressure pretty significantly. Of all the quarrels I got from yesterday's game, Jaden Daniels ain't very high on the list.
But they had 2 sacks and no turnovers.
Right.
I think
and he ran the ball 16 times.
I think you'll take that.
I mean, Caleb Williams was 14 of 29 for 93 yards, had another 15 on the ground. That's obviously the number 1 overall pick. Bo Nix, I mean, these numbers, you talk about at the line of scrimmage, 26 of 42 for $138 and 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Le'Veon, help me with the math. 138 divided by 26. What is the yards per completion on that?
50 something.
5, you mean?
Yeah, 5.
Like 5.3 yards. I mean, listen, Jaden, nothing was going downfield. I think we got to give that there's a lot of folks that want to jump to a lot of conclusions around Kingsbury and the lack of creativity in that offense. I think we got to give that a little bit of time. If you look at, I'm looking at this from True Media, that the Commanders were damn near middle of the pack, both in yards per attempt and in pre-snap motion.
Mm-hmm.
And I know those were things that carried some great concern. I mean, if you think about the Rams or Sean McVay's offense and all the motion they do,
they do a lot of motion.
Washington was a little bit higher on the yards per attempt and just a hair behind the LA on motion. So
but the whole thing with the motion, okay, if you line up straight and you have success, does it make a difference if you motion or not?
No, ultimately success is what matters, but there are predictive factors that more motion tends to lead to more success over the last 5-7
more
years.
Motion with a much more mature team and a much more experienced team. This is an offense that's being put together with a bunch of guys that hadn't played it. So I wouldn't expect them to move the ball move around as much as Sean McVay and his veteran-led team does.
Right, but the yards per target was still deeper. It's an interesting, I think some of the stuff people wanted to immediately jump on is not accurate. Some of it is. McLaurin primarily only lined up in one spot. They didn't move him around a lot. Terry didn't get a catch till the third quarter. None of the wideout. Dude, at midway through the third quarter, kind of when this was still a ball game, wide receivers had 3 catches.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Luke McCaffrey for 2 catches for 5 yards and Crowder for a catch.
Okay.
Like, the productivity in the pass game wasn't there. I do think Robinson and Eckler being heavily involved in the pass game, that's a real feature of this offense.
Yeah.
But you've got to supplement that with your wideouts. Maybe part of that is wideouts aren't getting
open. Does the coach have to supplement, or did the wideouts just have to beat the damn defensive backs? Because, like, we get into this argument about number 1 receiver, number 2 receiver, all that. If you're on the football field and you can't get open, then are you truly one? I'm just asking the question because I hear
he was sure as hell open on that deep shot.
He was on the deep shot and he threw it and he missed him. But you miss people. You don't hit every big play. Right. But what I'm trying to say is, you look at the offense, people want to knock the offense, but sometimes the guy just is not there to throw the ball to.
Yeah, I think Terry's got a long enough track record over a lot of bad quarterbacks of ability to make plays and get open. Elsewhere down, but dude, that goes back to my earlier point. Like, we knew secondary was going to be an issue. We knew edge rush was going to be an issue. We knew that this receiving core, after Terry had some real questions, voila, you know?
Yeah, but it's like, I think it's a little bit too early to really be going so gung-ho first game. I think Noah Brown, someone you're high on. Wasn't active yesterday, right. But what I saw running around the roster and stuff, how he was doing stuff, I think I have some hope in him. I saw a guy named Newton that was doing some stuff yesterday. I got some excitement level going for that. So you have guys coming along, and I think they're going to build and be a better team. Just that first game, it was a dud.
It was a dud.
You saw what you wanted to see from Jaden. Not all, but you saw a lot of what you wanted to see.
I think you saw
but
some.
It was a dud. And I think ultimately it's just that. A one-time thing. Keep moving.
Last year they started 2-0 and went 4-13. Let's not jump off any bridges at 0-1. Listen,